the top
from the ones
left,
we did.
Matti, is that the first iteration of Goo? Am I looking at the first iteration of Goo on the right there? I think it
You
is.
might be.
Oh my god. Look at how
It's
gorgeous.
So there's the proto Goo.
We are live.
Yes, we are.
Wow.
It has been a long time.
It's been an extremely long time.
You still look like the same. Matti still looks like the same. I still look like the same.
Yeah.
Nothing happened. 3 years didn't happen.
We have 1, 2, 3, 4 special things to show you today. Jimmy and David are our two favorite people from way back when. Were you community managers? What was the official
So
title
you were
back
community
then?
manager
I was developer.
community developer.
Yes.
And I was live content producer because I've
Yes.
just changed my role when we
Exactly.
started doing that. Yeah. Yep.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah. So they were the guys who started streaming with us and without us. Everything surviving the aftermath had to offer. So as sort of a special treat, we are going to check what the game actually looked like back then. This is from January 2020 or so, and it's gone through a lot of changes, but also some of the things are still the same, as you can probably see. And as usual, we are really picky with our starting settings.
Nice.
Fantastic.
We were never this
So-
quick.
So this is January 2020. So
Yeah.
to provide context for those who were not playing with us Aftermath back in the days, we announced Surviving the Aftermath in October 2019, I believe, in Berlin.
Yeah.
And we immediately went in early access. So we're
Yep.
talking about the second patch, the third patch after the
Yeah.
start of early access, right?
Yeah, this is after one of the bigger early milestones.
Mhm.
So, if you know what Surviving the Aftermath looks like today, this is not it, but kinda is, but isn't. So, for example, here our colonists started straight away. In this case, from this broken vehicle, which also acted as inventory or a storage for the first part. Then one other big thing, the goo is green. It is not pink purple like it is now. So David S. Jimmy's goo town was bright green at the best of times.
It's mostly because you built all the housing close to the
That's
the
Yeah.
waste.
that's the goal, right? You offer like the mutagenic spa.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
Like-
for those who missed it, I'm working on Stellaris now, and we have mutagenic spas coming.
Wow.
Prime real estate over here.
Marketing plug.
Yeah, this is
yeah.
exactly where you would have built your colony around.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Also,
you
we
evolved.
didn't have the fog of war, so you saw the entire big map
Hmm.
from the start. But on other parts, we had the bores and lakes and whatnots, and the 3 different kinds of soil right from the start. So I'll just start plopping down some buildings.
Yeah, this brings back memory.
Yeah, this brings back a lot of memories actually.
Yep. Yeah, so for a while it was you and me on the stream,
Yeah.
and we played through Goo Town 1, 2, 3,
4,
4.
5, 6.
Yeah, because when some of the updates we needed to rebuild it because we wanted to show new features and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So we really rebuilt that town.
One thing I definitely am not missing is how we handled night back then. So you can see it's nighttime, nobody's working. Everybody's either standing outside, like doing whatever the hell, or just sleeping, which like it was just like unnecessary downtime. So now they will go sleep whenever they're tired. Doesn't matter if it's day or night. But this used to be a thing, and it was quickly discovered that we don't want it to be a thing no more.
Yeah, To answer chat here, yeah, this is an old version of the game. That's why we also dragged back us.
To revive old memories.
Yeah.
I think that this was literally like the third month I was working at Paradox. We were all so fresh. I think it was around 1 year.
Started straight off with Aftermath.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, so the first we came back.
Trip.
We used to be in another building, the Paradox office, and we went to Berlin to do the PDX-Con, and that's where we announced. And then when we came back, the movers had moved everything from the old building here.
Yeah.
And I remember we didn't have a studio.
Nope. I know where this is going. I was thinking about it earlier. Yep.
We had a little like room, and we called it the basement. It was actually like the first floor or something, but everything else in Paradox is like first floor and above. So it felt like a basement. And now
we're there playing Aftermath on camera.
So the first stream we did was the first update. I checked this, right?
Yeah, really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because we started with the first update stream, and then we went through the mechanics. We started building Goo Town 1.
Yeah.
And then I think we reset it when the second update came.
Yeah.
But yeah. And the first update stream, it was us three on that.
Aha.
So it's very much like going back to the first time. So how do you feel playing this old version, Matti?
Like I feel like I'm gonna make massive mistakes. I almost got everybody killed with the water, because we changed the basic building resources quite a long time ago to only consist of plastic and planks in the beginning, and then adding metal and concrete later. But these wells actually cost concrete, which I almost forgot to pick up or scavenge.
Yeah.
So everything's good, everybody's fine. But yeah, it's really fun.
Nobody got killed by a boar or a worm. You're already doing better than I was.
I hope we don't have worms yet.
No, exactly.
No, I don't think so. But we have boars. I don't know if the boars attack citizens.
Boars are there and they are aggressive, but I don't want to think about the worms. I'm not prepared.
I was just thinking about the stream where there was one of the colonists carrying some resources, and they died by a worm, and then one by one all my colonists died trying to recover that one supply, or I don't remember, concrete was something, I don't remember.
No, I think they wanted to take him to the pits, right?
The corpse.
Yeah, exactly. They tried to get the corpse.
No, I don't think so.
Yeah, the corpse runs.
Right?
Yeah. Good times. Everybody goes to get the same corpse and ends up as one themselves.
Yeah.
Well, this is where you optimize and you build the pit right there.
But they can't because there's a giant worm there. But yeah.
This is where you give him a pet name and treat it as the town mascot.
But this is so weird because I remember when we played, you and I, like in the early beginnings, you never had any planks. And Matti has 29. Is it really the same game?
I'm calling that he's using like console commands. He's a developer. You want to know what's the best thing about this build specifically? It's the fact that the Ladybug menu is still the Ladybug menu.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. This was actually really useful for us, having this sort of like direct line to poll different stuff during the early access and have that as a feedback tool.
Yeah, and then it was changed
Even
to another bug. I don't remember which one. I remember it was blue.
It was sort of a blue cockroachy thingy.
It was a blue cockroach, yeah.
But I do like the ladybug holds a special place in my heart.
Oh, we are ready to explore the world. We're building the gate.
Exciting.
We are definitely not, but I'm gonna build it anyway.
Okay.
We don't
even have a basic resource production yet.
Yeah.
We gotta go.
Does the gate still cover like this central idea in the game nowadays?
Yeah.
Like, are we still going?
It does.
Okay.
It's largely the same concept in that it protects the colony and acts as a gateway to the outside world. Without it, you're kind of stuck here. You can do lots of stuff without it, but essentially you want to build it as soon as possible to start getting survivor groups and specialists and whatnot. But like, for example, here, we didn't have the indicator that the work area is empty. So I've been just doodling here, waiting for like resources to come, which they don't, because I'm not collecting them. Because I forget.
I mean, to be fair, I'm mostly surprised that we have David on stream and there is not like meteors raining down from the sky yet.
Well, I'm not playing with Don't Jimmy. I have now one very serious question, which is about the competitive meta of surviving the aftermath. At a certain point, Jimmy and I started saying, okay, if the crop is just growing, we can remove the colonists working on it because it's just growing and it will not change anything.
Yeah.
Was that true?
Yes, but not anymore.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because previously,
the competitive
like for example, here it is still growing.
Yep.
I don't have anyone working on it.
Yeah.
But with this, I want to harvest them, so I have someone to do it. But nowadays, if you leave a person here working and it's on the growing stage, they will carry boxes and do like build stuff while they're waiting for their sort of actual like proper job to have something to do, be it like harvesting or planting new stuff.
So you'll not get benefits to your field specifically, but they will still like engage in other tasks in the colony.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's just to remove the sort of the micromanagement part, that you don't have to necessarily like take these out to get more carriers or anything like that.
So this is an important notice. If you are planning to speedrun or in the aftermath, now you know this very critical information.
You don't send the specialist on the world map. They just are there sort of when you need them. But yeah, this is the world map we had back then.
Yep.
The sectors are super small, and also one big thing is that the scouting sort of immediately resolves, so you can see what you got, but then you have to wait for a long time. So we sort of switch them around so you can start taking advantage of the stuff when you see what's there instead of waiting.
And I think that this was one of the first builds, so there is no queuing. You cannot queue multiple turns on the warm up. You need to every turn go there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, but you like
This
to
is true.
micromanage that.
Yes, I'm totally a micromanager. You know how I work.
All right.
Let's go
Science.
get that, and we can start researching on the tech tree. That looks really weird.
No, it looks exactly the same as today.
I just had a moment of, right, it was vertical at the beginning.
Yep.
Tiny little things on a vertical column thingy.
Yeah,
Yep.
wow.
And you could start immediately producing electricity as well. There's so much less of the stuff to do.
But you already had the outpost.
It's right. The first thing you can research is the outpost.
Yeah, I think it was one.
So I think this was the first patch that had this.
Yeah. I think it was literally the first patch. It was outposts.
You had sort of the famous, infamous colony that you played together called Goo Town. Did you sort of explain for our viewers what that was all about?
So I think it just started with us looking at the map and everything, and getting really excited about the nuclear waste, and we start calling that the goo.
Yes.
And then we just named the first colony Goo Town.
I think so.
Yeah. And then it became a thing.
Yeah.
And then further down the line, we started making bad puns related to goo.
Yeah.
And then we just kind of have to keep on going. You were the governor, of Gotha.
Oh yeah. In that point of the stream, we have to give this version of the game a rest and show you something a bit different.
Yep.
So could you pull up the first picture of the stuff I sent you?
Nurgle is hard at work. There we go.
Aha.
Also, I have to see it somehow.
The picture.
Yeah. Alrighty. So it's this one.
Yeah.
So this is from our proof of concept version of the game, and you could also already see lots of similarities, but also lots of differences, especially on the UI front. The game looked quite different. It had a different way of handling different professions, for example, and that kind of stuff. And you can show the next picture.
Can you just clarify what a proof of concept is like? Is the game playable at proof of concept? Is it just like showing ideas?
So this is a playable version that's supposed to sort of communicate to prospective publishers or collaborators or whatever that like the concept is sound, and we have a group that can actually deliver that said concept. So I think those are the two sort of big things you're trying to achieve here, and also show yourself that you can do it. Like the concept is sound and something you want to continue working on. And like this is like fully playable. So not just like fake screenshots or anything like that. At this point, we didn't have any console versions yet, so this is purely PC and with like PC centric UI and that kind of stuff.
I really like the timer at the bottom. Next catastrophe in 4 days, 16 hours. Dun.
And you can show the last picture.
Oh wow, yeah.
Yeah. So there was already a world map, a 3D world map, but how you operated there was quite a bit different. You had these missions you sent people to, and there was a lot less control over where to go and what to do. But like you had some kind of nice things of like creating the loadout and whatnot, and we sort of brought them back later when we introduced the vehicles proper into the game. So yeah, that was 3 quick screenshots from the proof of concept version, and for the sort of final treat, I'd like to show you, and I hope it doesn't break. It's kind of like solid and stable. A really old version, all the way back from 2018.
Right
this
here.
Is Last City. It's the proto version of what would later become Surviving the Aftermath. It's quite a bit different in many ways, but also kind of similar. It was started as this sort of like scenario-based thing, where you had sort of separate scenarios for example, pandemia and climate change, where it would be like the heat waves and that kind of stuff would come, which was later combined into one sort of sandbox.
Yeah. All right.
So and here we are.
All right.
I love this.
So we have the wind indicator. Hold on a second. Why do we have a wind indicator? Like, does wind does something here?
There could be wind. But yeah, for example, resource collection didn't work as it does now. It was fading, and then your happy little colonists would go and start miniaturizing the trees for public consumption.
Yes, in case you didn't know, this is how it works when you get wood. The tree gets smaller and smaller. You just drain the wood out of the tree.
Yeah, and the visuals were quite a bit more cheery, much more bright, less realistic.
I'm sorry.
From,
on the top
from the ones
left,
we did
Matti, is that the first iteration of Goo? Am I looking at the first iteration of Goo on the right there?
I think it
You
is.
might be.
Oh my god. Look at how gorgeous.
So there's the proto Goo. Pretty nice. Like there's a nice little river there, some abandoned buildings on the distance, more foresty area, some more buildings.
Perfect vacation spot.
Yep.
Yep. Ah.
Oh.
I think my
Speed
well
run
wasn't completed in time. So just a moment. Technical difficulties and whatnot.
Yep.
I will maybe start with the well this time. Like you can see from the trees shrinking and whatnot. This is sort of like the stage where you are. Like it doesn't matter that the tree doesn't fall beautifully.
Yeah.
But you have to be able to show that the people are gathering stuff. So the basic like core loop works, that they have different needs for food and water, that kind of stuff, and then you can get that to work. Also, we already have a world map.
Oh.
It is quite a bit different than the world map we have now, but it is already there. So even at this stage, the plan was to have one. So it's not like a late addition to anything.
Was the plan always the same, to have like your specialists going around and exploring, or did you had another vision for it?
I think, well, like first of all, I'm probably not the right person to answer that, because I wasn't yet working at Ice Lake at that point. But I think like specialists or having the colonists form sort of like groups to go and like do missions, collect resources. That was already there. And like specialists were a good way of bringing more personality to a game that's supposed to have like hundreds of people in the end. So like if you have a name for colonist number 427, it's kind of hard to get attached to it. But when you have 10 specialists all have their names and backstories and whatnot, that's sort of like a number you can still keep tabs on. So yeah, it's an easy game. I immediately on the first try successfully
built a colony.
Built a colony that doesn't immediately die of something.
Yeah. The chat has a question, and then I don't know if we can answer now, but maybe we can answer next time. Is how long did it take to make this prototype? Do you know?
Unfortunately, I don't know. I think.
So we'll investigate.
I'd like to say like several months, but I don't know what sort of like the starting point was.
Yeah,
I would say that we'll investigate and come back next week, and you'll have the answer.
We'll have to interrogate our superiors about it, because they're the ones who actually made it.
Chat is pleased with your dedication.
You're welcome, chat.
The entity that is the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, like
wait,
I can already see in this that you have something worth like developing and working on.
Yes, of course you have the goo.
Yeah. But firstly, we have the goo. Then when we also have some other like less important stuff.
Yeah. Can I also praise on how extremely symmetrical the design of this is? I'm 10 out of 10.
Oh, is it time already? Time flies when you look at old versions of the game. No, I think this is super cool.
Yeah, like it's super interesting to see it. Like,
yeah.
I'm really like
I think it's
curious.
Really,
I have so many
really
questions. Nice. Like, what is the fourth icon? Is that a garbage disposal? Why is there a box in that field?
Who found the textures for the garbage disposal?
It's a delete tool. But yeah, it's really fun and sort of educational to see the earlier versions, and it's kind of shame that with like most often than not you are not gonna see them, especially for projects that are not your own, but even for your own stuff. Like I really like heartily recommend archiving, like retaining all builds to look at what you've done like 4 or 5 or 6 or 8 years ago and how it has developed, because like I think there's lots to be learned and just admired there.
Yeah, for sure.
I have one final question before we go. Okay, looking at this now, Matti, as a game designer, what's the first thing is you look at and say, I want to change this? Like, that's the first thing I'm going to take all immediately looking at this.
The colonist feedback on how it communicates back to the player. Like now you have like pretty severe loose conditions that are not told to the player. You just have to know that they are there.
Yeah.
Okay.
And like how the UI relays information that you know what you're doing right, what you're doing wrong, what you maybe would have to do next, and that kind of stuff. Like why is something not happening, or why is something happening? Fun checking it as well, especially with you two, because you're the ones that dragged us into streaming.
You're welcome.
We didn't know,
I guess,
that we are gonna stream stuff or not. It was sort of like a collaboration to get us in, and now we've been doing it for 3 years.
Yep.
Are you still streaming weekly?
Yeah. Or again, we had a brief gap. There was all sorts of events and whatnot.
Yeah.
And of course, we don't stream during the summer holidays, but we're now streaming weekly again.
Okay, so the stream is every Wednesday at this time, 4 p.m.
Yes.
Central European time.
Are you really falling back into the...
Yes. And remember, everybody, so tune in next week.
Yeah.